Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it anyway, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you have a collective message that posted today, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. Now this scroll comes from I Scribe with Steph. This is a scroll she specifically did for Witch and Scythe in the name of Witch and Scythe. And so I will have her link down the description box below, as well as the public reading that she did on this scroll. So if you're interested in seeing what she got energetically from this scroll, definitely check that out. So let's go ahead. Taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So the first thing that's standing out to me here is the yellow. So there's something here with the sacral or the solar plexus that's standing through, and I'm feeling that extend into the sacral chakra. There may be creativity. As I say that, the King of Wands. There's a lot more going on there though. There may be some creativity at play. There may be some sort of motivation that's coming in. I'm feeling this sense of inspiration. You guys know I normally don't take reversals, but I'm taking them for this reading. There's something here that has been solidified inside of our life that we're releasing. And this feels like something that is directly linked with the solar plexus. This is taking me into the arena of the body for many of you. So some sort of habit, some sort of pattern that we have, that by changing it, we will improve our bodies. There's an alchemical process that's taking place. I'm seeing this almost like, it's almost making me think of the Temperance card right now, the angel and the Temperance card. And I'm seeing it as having these two like vessels that are being poured out here. And this is making me think of alchemy. And so in alchemy, you have the three primes. And I'm not necessarily taking this literally. What it's making me think of is three elements: air, water, earth, right? There's air, water, and earth are synonymous with our emotions, our thoughts, our bodies. This collective that I'm reading for, we have already taken care of our emotional processes. You know, obviously there's probably always going to be something there, but we've done a bulk of the work there. And we've also managed our perceptions, right? We're working on our perceptions. But now we're being asked to work on our bodies. This can be something else in the physical, but it's something within the physical that we need to handle, that we need to take care of. I do feel that for many of you, it is your body because it's personal alchemy. That's what's taking place inside of this for me. On one hand, what I see is I see somebody sitting and they're thinking, and then it flips on me, and now it's somebody giving an offering. So we've been thinking about something here in terms of our bodies and something that we need to do for ourselves and our health for some time now. But what's happening is we're actually giving it to ourselves now. We have this King of Wands that's showing up in the higher arena here. This is, again, that inspiration, that creative inspiration, that call to action. There's something here that's changing, something in terms of a cycle. The reason why I'm saying that is because the salamander is being trumped by this lion. So there's like this feeling of turning over a new leaf. This kind of links me back to the energy of that last reading I did, which was this big shift. So maybe you've already had that inspiration that I talked about in that last reading. I will link that at the end of this video in case you missed it and this resonates for you. But there seems to be something that we were inspired by, or something that we thought that's causing this big shift in our energy. And I feel that we may not necessarily be doing it just yet. We may still be in the thinking process, but it's about to happen. It's about to turn. Now, there is some sort of rigidity or solidity that is being shed. So for some of you, this might be losing weight. This might be quitting a habit like drinking or smoking or eating a certain type of diet that you have for a long time. And because it's reversed, now it's being removed, right? We have the King of Pentacles. He's solid. He's fixed. And this fixed thing in our life is now being removed here in the future position. We've had to let something go first, right? There's some idea, something that we had to let go. Some of you, I want to say this, that whatever this is representing, this is in response to grief. So it feels like, maybe it's that we had some sort of traumatic situation, or we had some sort of situation we still had to process and grieve that caused some kind of habit or some sort of behavior inside of ourselves that now we're ready to let go. And that's the solid thing that's being released here. Okay, now I'm done with reversals. Okay. One of the things that's coming through, again, that King of Swords, it's that inspiration. It's something that happened in the mind space. Again, something that we've been thinking about for a little while. The thing that's standing out to me here is this butterfly. And this butterfly is that transformation. There was a transformation within these 2 crescent moons. So transformation within the emotional space led to this being able to change our perception and take control of our perception in this air arena. And this is now what's giving us way to start something new within our fire, our inspiration, our motivations, our direction for someone. Okay, now as I'm moving down here, I'm seeing this as the 2 of Wands. I'm seeing this as the 2 of Wands in the tarot. So there is a choice that has to be made. We're sitting in between that choice. So there is who we were and who we can become, and we can see this, we can almost taste it, right? We're like, oh yeah, I could totally do that. And now we're feeling a little bit more lighthearted and like we want to do something that previously we were kind of against, or we didn't want to do, or we talked ourselves out of. And this is something that's going to benefit us. Again, for many of you, it has to do with your body. It could be getting a new job. It could be, something in your 3D, but for most of you, this is really focused on that internal alchemy. One of the things I'm hearing is strength, right? This is cultivating personal strength, that you've become emotionally strong, you've become mentally strong, and now it's time to become physically strong. Now, I'm almost seeing this as a torch now, and this is how to light the way. So with this torch, the torch is being passed in some way. There may be some sort of physical thing that we've carried from our ancestors. So maybe this can be illnesses, maybe this can be certain diseases that we carry inside of our body. But there's something about the torch being passed. And then this is also part of the generational trauma that needs to be healed. We don't often think of that in terms of our bodies, right? For example, if you're overweight and you have diabetes and your family had diabetes and they were overweight and their family before them, we don't often think of our physical body as being one of the things that we have to heal in terms of clearing up ancestral karmas or ancestral debts. Or I hate using the word debt, so I don't know why that came out, but for some of you, maybe that's the word that you use, and that's absolutely fine. But in terms of like healing our ancestral line so that our children don't have to suffer, or so that we don't have to suffer anymore, we don't often think of our bodies, but that very much is the case. And someone here, you're coming into that now in your next phase. This is where we're wrapping things up. This is where we're coming to the crux of the matter here. There's something here also that I want to say. There's this little swoosh here. It's making me think of the Hebrew letter Yod. And so this is sound as creation. So someone here, you may be practicing with chanting, you may be practicing more with mantras. There may be something important with sound that's coming in. You may be working on music, you may be getting involved in prayer or prayer groups. There's something with sound that's going to be important for this next phase. Now, some of you, one of the reasons why this inspiration came in, not only have you been processing the emotional and changing perceptions and your own perspectives, but it does feel like you got involved in something new. This could be a new job. This could be a new hobby. This could be taking your career to the next level. It could be suddenly stepping into a new role. But there's something new that came into our energy over here. I'm seeing that with this that seems to have kicked things off. I'm saying kicked things off because this almost looks like a foot kicking. And as this kicked things off, now there's this decision that's coming in because we are receiving that inspiration. There is, I keep getting drawn back to this figure in here. there's an aspect of self that we have yet to discover for this collective. This is something that we are only going to kind of unleash. It's got this unleashy feel to me, unfurl. This is something we're only going to unfurl for ourselves once we get all three of those elements in line. Fire is sort of the gateway by which this is happening. It's the gateway by which the inspiration is coming. It's really through our water, our air, and our earth processes that this fire is now able to be given through us. And this fire seems to carry with it some sort of signature of an aspect of ourself that we've not become aware of yet in this life. This is something big. I'm just going to say that this is something big, and I'm seeing this come all the way down here, and it's almost got this very dragon-like quality. So it's something that's part of our primordial essence, and this is coming down all the way down here, and I'm being dragged down here. It's rooted in this underworld energy. It's rooted deeply inside of our subconscious in the spaces that we don't have access to. It's something that for some of you, you may have become aware of in dreams, especially if you lucid dream. For some reason, that's what's standing out to me. And this stretches far into our past, and it stretches far into our future. And it defines who we were in the very beginning and who we will be at the very end. I'm getting like all kinds of chills as I'm talking about that. So I think that for some of you, that's going to make sense. For some of you, naturally, that's not going to make sense, and that's fine. But I'm seeing this extend even further down here, and I'm being told to stop here. And there's almost this flip side. It's like an alternate reality sort of energy. It's like almost like if there's like a different universe with like a carbon copy of you, except it doesn't look like you and it doesn't talk like you. So, and I'm seeing it almost like the exact opposite of you. So, for example, in this life, if you are if you embody the female, there may be in this other universe this like male aspect of you running around like some like ultra dimensional form, but it directly connects down here, and it's changing something. Okay, now I'm being brought to this as a being. So for some of you who have had, so I'm going to talk about this. For some of you who have had like that darker being following you, that we talk about occasionally on this channel, because I know in this collective, a lot of people have experiences with that. By doing this process of healing the body, there's something here that's going to integrate and transform. So there's something inside of this other being that you are experiencing that is going to transform, directly linked. Don't forget that we're directly linked. So it's almost as though the mirror that some of you experience in your external world is going to flip because of this, and that's the process of alchemy that's taking place. Some of you, one of the things that's taking place in here, I'm being shown this right here, and it's almost looking like a flower petal. It's like there's some sort of it's like finally giving the vessel the worship that it deserves. That this is like the final piece for some of you inside of this self-love journey. And I'm going to be honest, like this is a very beautiful energy because it's transformative. And it's not just transformative in this way that's like out there and open for everyone to see. It's something that, while they might visually see it inside of your body, it's like it's this transformation that's happening for you in these very deep spaces that supersede the emotions, that supersede the thinking. It's the place from which all thought and emotion arises inside of someone. It's like changing the foundational material. And by changing this foundational material, it's unlocking this primordial essence that we haven't even encountered inside of ourselves. For some of you, this is throwing me heavy magician vibes. I'm going to be honest. You may become aware that you interact with the universe, and the universe is interacting with you in a deeper way than you had previously conceived. I don't know why, but this right now just felt like a castle tower. And so there, some of you have been in a period of isolation to come into this point, and I do see that isolation is going to open up a little bit. It doesn't mean that you're going to fully come out of isolation. It's just that it's going to open up a little bit. I'm seeing this right here as something that's upside down, and then it curves up, and that is a dragon. It also looks like a rook inside of like chess. So there's something about a knight here. Oh, interesting. Someone here, especially if you resonate with having done shadow work in the past, which I think this collective will resonate with that. This dragon, there's one dragon that represents your shadow, and then it's coming into the awareness as this magician archetype of a collective shadow, of understanding how ours is directly linked to that of the collective, and how by transforming ours, what we're doing is we're slowly transforming the collective. This is very much speaking to me about archetypes coming through, archetypes rising up, a greater understanding of the archetypes existent within us, the ones that we choose to display and the ones that we choose to, or the ones that aren't necessarily natural to us, right? Probably based on something within the stars that we were born under. There's this energy here that we're hearing the stories of the archetypes, and we're moving into a new way of transforming ourselves by hearing them and transforming them. So right now what's happening is in this physical body, there's an archetype of physicality. It's like that Taurian archetype, right? That idea of nurturing the vessel and really making sure that we beautify the self in terms of however you perceive beauty, right? Not in other people's terms. And by doing this, that this is, again, nurturing those darker spaces within. For some of you, this has been a lifelong struggle because of that, a struggle against your body. And so what's happening here is we're seeding new information because of the love and care that we're generating for the self. We're seeding new information in here. And this is changing some sort of deep foundational core thing. Okay, so this is huge. This is huge. Whatever this inspiration or realization that someone is having in terms of taking care of their body, this is where it really changes everything. You may be the kind of person that you're able to sit back and say, you know, because of whatever issue I have with myself inside of my body, this is why I did this. This is why I felt this way. This is why I chose this. And you may not have ever realized that that's why, that was the root of everything. And so this is a new phase for someone. This is a new phase of a very deeper learning. When I look at this is like ancient programmed material. And, you know, there may have been lifetimes that you can remember where there was famine. There may be lifetimes that you can remember where you starved. There may have been lifetimes that you can remember where you couldn't move. There's all sorts of very deep primordial information that's taking place here. And I think that someone here is going to start tapping into that. It may even be this feeling like, where's this coming from? Because it's not this life. I didn't go through that this time. And so this is the answer. This is what's happening right now if that's you. Okay. The gardener, yeah, tending the garden, this very earthy energy of like, you know, and sometimes that's what I see the King of Pentacles as, is the gardener, but sometimes I see the King of Pentacles as the person who won't let people into the garden to tend it, because he's so rigid in how he behaves sometimes. But there's this passage coming in here, and passage has this sort of like clock-like image on it. It's time, right? It's time for somebody. You finally reached some point in your healing journey where now you're able to come to the next phase, which is to heal the body and to work on the body in some way. So, you know, and obviously, like, I'm not here to give health advice, so use your discernment. But this is huge. This is huge. Most people never really get into clearing out the issues that they have with their physical form. Usually when people are doing self-work, they'll focus on two things, their emotions, and then eventually they'll get to a place where they focus on their perceptions. But to have someone do all three is something that normally doesn't happen. And so that's beautiful, and that's huge if you're doing that for yourself, because this is where we're getting all of our foundational material covered. And there's something very important about this clock. I don't know if for some of you, you feel like you're running out of time. So, you know, there may be something marking time for you. So, for example, the maiden mother crone phase, right? You may be feeling like you're coming into the next phase, and you may feel like you're running out of time to take care of your body the way that you want. And if that's the case, it does look like that may be one of the reasons that's motivating you to make this change now. Okay, now I heard to pull it down once. Okay, And then when I come down here, what I see is I see a person that's kneeling. And this person that's kneeling, it's like they're looking at something that's on the ground. It's almost bringing me into this card. So it's like really looking at the soil, really looking at the foundation from which everything that we are creating in our life springs. And that foundation is our thoughts, our mind, right? Our thoughts, our emotions, and also our bodies, right? How we move in the world, what we're bringing, how we're showing, how we're expressing. Our bodies are our foundations in physical reality. That's why it's closely linked to the root chakra. Okay, and then I'm being brought in here, and this almost looks like it almost looks like a person. So it's almost like a very stylized person, and they've got this red here that's in the face. For some of you, what this really represents is it's a healing of the identity. There may have been a rift with ourself and the way that we feel about ourself and our identity due to something that we're not really happy with in our body. I'm gonna put it this way, and I know that this isn't the situation, but if you've ever spoken to a person who's survived cancer, many times people who've survived cancer, they are never really able to put that cancer in the past. It kind of looms over them, and it becomes part of their identity as I'm a cancer survivor, and that's how they start to self-identify. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like that. Whatever it is that we're carrying with us, it's part of our identity. And what's happening here is we're erasing that, we're changing that, so that it's no longer part of our identity, so that we can now put it in the past and not manifest it again in our future. So whoever this message is for, this is huge, and I wish you the best of luck with this. And if this resonates for you, please hit that like button, and until next time.